Well, good morning again, everybody. It's Barb Katie here. I hope you're doing well. I certainly am. Winter will eventually end at some point in time. Little teasers of spring are coming more and more regularly, and every day is an adventure. One thing you can say about the weather in West Virginia is if you don't like it right now, wait about 15 minutes, and I'm sure it'll change for you. The important thing is that we all get the opportunity to live our life in the moment. Only when we embrace change, like change in the weather, can we even hope to find the good that is in it. We need to have an open mind and open arms if we're going to recognize, capitalize on, and take advantage of the opportunities that these changes create. I was listening to a friend a few days ago talking about the weather, and had to laugh to myself because she can't do a thing about the weather. No matter what, she cannot control it one iota. And yet she was blaming the weather on everything and was determined, just because the weather was the weather, that she was going to have a bad day as a result of it. Well, how often do we do things like that? Instead of just embracing what is in the moment uh, and adapt to it, we berate something we cannot have any impact on and allow it to control how we are going to live our days. Um, I hope that we learn as we go through life that really is not the best or even the most effective approach. Uh, you're bound to fail when you keep doing the same things you've always done. And expecting a different result. Albert Einstein is attributed to that comment. And I use it often because it is so absolutely true. Sometimes you just got to change your plans, whether you want to or not. And it's really insanity to keep doing that same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. It probably is not going to happen. Uh, Life doesn't stop for anybody. When things are going well, appreciate them and enjoy them, as they are bound to change one way or t'other. If you are always searching for something more, something better that you think is going to make you happy, you're never going to be present enough to enjoy the great moments before they're gone. I learned that as a young mother. Sometimes I just sat down on the floor with the boys and we did things little boys like to do, because that time will never come again, no matter what. It will never come again. Excuse me a second. Another thing I think we need to be aware of is that sometimes our biggest successes are often preceded by uh, abysmal failures. You can never experience true success unless you learn how to appreciate the failures and put them in perspective. Your mistakes are going to pave the way for you to succeed by helping reveal to you things that you might be doing wrong. Um, when I first started housekeeping, uh, I was a dreadful cook, just absolutely dreadful. Well, I didn't have much choice if I wanted to feed myself, but to learn how to improve. And I had to embrace the mistakes, and there were many, believe me. Um, and fortunately, my family and friends for whom I cooked from time to time were very tolerant and very forgiving of those errors, and none of us died from them, though it was questionable sometimes. But embrace your failures, learn from them. The biggest breakthroughs typically come when you're feeling the most frustrated and the most stuck. It's this frustration sometimes that forces us to think differently, to look outside the box and see the solutions that we've been missing all along. That's particularly true of me with cooking. I was a very literal by the recipe cook and had to learn to just toss a lot of that aside and let myself be creative. Success takes patience, and it also takes the ability to maintain a good attitude, even while suffering for what you believe was the right thing to do at the time. And believe me, we suffered through some of my experiments. Uh, Busy does not equal being productive. Have you ever taken a look around you at the people that are bustling by? They seem so busy running from place to place and firing off emails to people. Uh, Yet, how many of them are really being productive, really succeeding at whatever they set out to accomplish that day? Success really doesn't come from being constantly in motion and active. It comes from focus, from ensuring that you use your time efficiently and productively. You get the same number of hours in the day as everyone else does. I checked. I tried to find a 27-hour day, and there is not one I can purchase for any price. Every single day that I have ever tried to make use of has the same 24 hours as every other day. So I guess the thing to do is to use that time as wisely as you can. After all, you are the product of the effort you're making, and you only have that 24 hours in that day to set out and end it having accomplished what your goal was. Make certain your efforts are designated to tasks that get results, that lead you in the direction you wish to go in. Also, I think you need to look at who you're associating with throughout each day that you're given. That's a precious gift. You should strive, hopefully, to surround yourself with people who inspire you, people who want you to be better. And you probably do. But what about the people who drag you down, who do not allow you to accomplish what you have set out for yourself for the day? Why do you allow those people to interfere with the life that you're trying to live and maybe undermine the efforts that you're making? Anyone who makes you feel worthless or anxious or uninspired is really wasting your time and quite possibly trying to make you more like them, as much as I hate to even suggest that. Life is too short to associate with people like them. You can cut them loose. They'll find somebody else. Absolutely. You're always need to remember you are living the life that you are creating. You're not always the victim of circumstances. Uh, if it's if it means you need to walk away, sometimes that is what you need to do in order not to be a victim. And I know that's a hard decision to make, uh, but you help create the circumstances of your life. You're an active participant, or certainly should be, in your life. Uh, and you are helping to predict your future and the direction your life is taking. If you're feeling stuck, it might be because you're afraid to take a risk that might be necessary to achieve a goal and live a particular dream. Those are hard decisions that you need to consider as you are creating your own best life. When it times to take action, remember that it's always better to be at the bottom of a ladder you want to climb than at the top of a ladder you had no intent or desire to try to climb. Um, One thing I've also found that um, it's true for me, I can't say if it's true for you, but definitely for me, fear for me is sometimes the number one source of things that I regret having not done or tried. When all is said and done, I find that I lament the choices I didn't take far more than the ones I took and didn't succeed at. Uh, I've become much more willing to take risks and not fear them. What's the worst that can happen? Uh, it probably isn't a life-threatening choice. Uh, so why am I so hesitant? If no one's going to be injured by this, why don't I expand my limits a little bit and take a risk, even if it means I might not do it perfectly or I might even fail at it? Wow. Uh, we talked about this last week a little bit, and I wanted to mention it again here. Uh, the aspect of forgiveness, because resentment, which often comes into play when you don't forgive somebody, uh, can be very detrimental to what you're accomplishing in your own life. And I find with a lot of friends and family that I know through the years that what they seem to be waiting on is the other person to apologize. Well, guess what? You don't need to wait on an apology to forgive somebody. Life goes a lot smoother once I decide to let go of a grudge and can forgive even those who never said that they were one little bit sorry. Grudges let negative events from your past ruin your happiness for today. And you have the ability to let go of that. Hate and anger are emotional parasites for me that that really destroy the joy I feel in living every day as hopefully as I possibly can. The negative emotions that come from holding on to a grudge create a stress response in my body, even. And holding on to that stress can even have health consequences if you really let it eat at you long enough. It contribute to high blood pressure and heart disease. When you forgive somebody, it doesn't condone what they did. It simply frees you from being their victim forevermore. I also find that living in the moment is really important. you, I can't reach my full potential until I can learn to live my life now, to not put it on hold for some future date. Uh, no amount of feeling guilty can change the past, and no amount of anxiety is going to change the future. It's impossible, I think, to be happy if you're considering constantly some place, sometime, somewhere else, and are unable to fully embrace the reality, good or bad, of the very moment you happen to be in. Uh, there are two things that I try to do uh, to help me remember to stay in the moment. And those two things are to accept my past, to make peace with it, good or bad. It will never leave me. And in doing so, it can impact the direction of my future. Uh, I can learn from the past and the mistakes that I may have made and the successes that I definitely had. I can also accept the uncertainty of the future because no matter how carefully we plan and prepare for potential issues, the future remains uncertain. Worry has no place in the here and now. As Mark Twain once said, and I don't remember what the book was, worry is like paying a debt you don't owe. Or as my grandmother said, it's like trying to go to town in a rocking chair. Doesn't accomplish very much at all if you just keep worrying about the uncertainty of what you don't know will be coming. Uh, Also, I think that it's really, really important in living your best life right in the moment, here and now, is to uh, understand that your feelings of self-worth have to come from inside you. They really can't come from others. Uh, when you derive your pleasure and your satisfaction from comparing yourself to others, I don't think you're really uh, the master of your own life. When you feel good about something that you've done, don't allow somebody else's opinion or accomplishments to take that away from you. Enjoy your joy. Enjoy your success. Don't throw it up against somebody else and then shoot it down. When it's impossible to turn a reaction around uh, about what others think of you, quit comparing yourself to them. Uh, you can always take somebody else's opinion with a grain of salt and just simply say to them, well, thanks for sharing. You don't have to agree. You can just go on your merry way. No matter what other people are thinking or doing, your self-worth has to be in you, regardless of what people think of you at any particular moment. One thing is certain, you're never as good or as bad as they might say you are. You're just simply you, and know your own self-worth. Uh, Another item, just to mention briefly, is life is short. None of us are guaranteed there's going to be a tomorrow. When someone dies unexpectedly, it can just rock our entire world. And it causes us, I think, to take stock of our own life. What's really important, how we spend our time, and how we treat other people. Loss is a raw, visceral reminder of the fragileness of life. Remind yourself every morning when you wake up that each day is a precious gift and you're bound to make the most of the blessing you've been given, living in the moment. The moment you start acting like life is a blessing is the moment it will begin to feel like one. After all, a great day begins with your mindset. Make your mindset positive. And above all, keep moving forward. And that direction is defined by you, not by somebody else. Stay focused and ask hard questions, but of yourself that can sometimes be extremely uncomfortable, but don't not ask them. We don't learn and grow by sticking to what's comfortable. We learn and grow by reaching and stretching our limits. So go out there, do something bold and glorious, and celebrate this precious day that you've been given. I will let you go for now, and I hope you have a great one. Talk to you later. Bye.